Hey there, welcome to the channel. So the CPI report came out and crypto going to crap. All right, so CPI came out and came in at 8.3% for the year over year. Kind of interesting. So the way the market took it, it sold off a little bit. It was interesting because at the start of the day, it seemed like it was, up a little bit and it was responding not super positive, but a little positive. And then it just kind of sold off. And as we talked about in my previous video, so it kind of came in near where the consumer price index, at least the year over year headline number, kind of came in where it was expected based on this US Cleveland Fed inflation nowcast. So uh, kind of interesting then, because what it kind of shows is, just doing this test is you see that there seems to be some correlation. So this here, right, is the month, this is the printed. So at least for now, given the data that we have, it seems like inflation has done a little bit of inflection. Now, of course, we don't know, what's going to happen yet. I think the market kind of turned worry, and so I think the market's not happy enough. Maybe the market expected it to go down more, but I don't know. I can look at the nowcast. You can look at the nowcast. We can all look at it and kind of see where it's coming in. So, you know, I don't know. It should have been expected, but I guess the market maybe was thinking that it should have been a little better. So that's what happened with that. And so just something for you to look at. US Cleveland Fed inflation nowcast, something to kind of keep in mind if you want to try to get an edge up on what's going on, where it's going. And also, right, they have a number now for May, the month that we're in. So as it is right now, and this gets updated, you can check, I think every week or something they update it. So right now it's expecting to go down even a little more. So not financial advice. You can kind of play the games you want to play with it. That's sort of it. So we see, yeah, the market kind of went up and then it really just hard selling, try to come back, and then didn't really do much there. I think one of so I want to talk about oil because I actually have a little bit of oil on, not financial advice, just paper trading only here. What you see here is we had this symmetrical triangle. See how it's coiling up? And then here's the deal. It broke out, not greatly, but it did break out of the symmetrical triangle. And then it gets hit hard one day, 2 day, just gets the crap kicked out of it. And then finally today we get this reversal and it kind of goes up a good 5.7%. So, I don't know what to think of that. It's kind of interesting. This is how this thing happens sometimes. I, I don't know if it's like everyone's looking at the pattern and they're all thinking about it like, okay, is it going to go up or down? We already have an uptrend in place. And so, all right, it's going to come out and then it gets hammered a few days and now it starts looking to go up. So yeah, just kind of a mess. I mean, the volume on the down days was pretty strong. The volume today was okay, it was at the average. So I mean, I think so. Okay, so with oil, speculating with oil. I mean, I guess the big deal there with oil is like, look, I still think, EU eventually will try to ban oil and there's still all this risk out there to oil. So I think it's highly likely that it will still persist in going up or at least staying high. So that's why I kind of have a little bit on that. Another thing, let's look at our Bitcoin because, man, Bitcoin's kind of getting beat up. So it really broke through this support here at like 32,000 range. And now it's just going down. It's at 28. So let's try to figure out where this thing could go. I mean, I think this is really bad, because if you look at this thing, look at where's the support in this whole area here. This thing went hyperbolic in late 2020. It went all the way from call it 10,000. It went from 10,000 to 30,000 in a matter of 3 or 4 months. So it's just like crazy. So now here's how this works. This is how it works. Since there's no support range in here, it actually, when you're looking at, I'm looking at a weekly chart, what you're really seeing here, if you look at this, is it actually spent very little time here. So there's not a lot of people that are in at this point. There's a lot of people out here in all these places where it spent a lot of time trading, but here it was very quick. And so the point is that this is kind of very bad. The nearest support is somewhere down in these big bases, right? Somewhere down in these big bases. So, call it 12 to 10,000. So, okay, Bitcoin, this is my speculation. I'm calling, look, Bitcoin is done. Bitcoin is no different than any other speculative asset. It's cool, it's fine, it's a great innovative kind of thing. Bitcoin is dog poo. All these cryptocurrencies are dog poo. They are just absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt dog poo. Look at these things. Now here I'm looking at, I put this on week. So let's look at the week. Bitcoin for the week down 27%, Ethereum down 30, Tether down 0.5%. But look at that chart. It's just terrible. It's supposed to be nailed to $1, right? USD coin is at $1. Okay, great. BNP down 30, 36, 43% down on Cardano. Binance up a little bit, down 46%. Solana, Dogecoin down 38. So these things are getting hammered, just destroyed. And when you look at it here, you look at Bitcoin, it's like, it's got a lot way to go. There's no bottom here until you're getting into the 10,000 and you're at 30,000. So you got a 3x decline. You're going to lose 66% more on this. So look, the crypto is done. The crypto died with this cycle. It was a cycle, just like anything else. You can go back to the tech boom of the 2000s. You look at the Cisco's of the world. Some of those companies survived, but most of them didn't. You had pets.com, but the Amazon survived, Cisco survived, but the stocks didn't do as well, et cetera. So all this is back to, look, this bubble is popped. Crypto is a speculative asset. It's popping with everything else. And I even think, as this thing goes further, oil's going to get hit. Everything's going to get hit. That's just kind of what we're seeing right now. Now, in the short term, given that how oversold we are, you can see just a rip your face off kind of rally coming, So there is, because look, it's so oversold. And even though, see here, I'm looking at a daily chart and you're looking at this thing and look, here's, the thing is the RSI, yes, it's not in that below 30 oversold condition on the RSI at this point, but the RSI, these things are not super good indicators. So basically, if you look at this, look how it came down, it's got the crap kicked out of the RSI, it put the RSI below, below 30, which is where typically oversold, and then it pops up. Now it didn't make it back up. See, the thing is when you're dealing with an RSI, which is relative strength indicator, which is relative strength with itself, which is a weird concept. But yeah, and then here, look how it goes on the up. So the thing rally, boom, and then it's like a short-term little top. And so that's kind of how those are. So, maybe it can go down some more and stuff, but at some point it's going to pop below this 30 and you're going to be in a situation where, yeah, it's going to start catching that floor. And matter of fact, looking here, look at it, I'm looking over here, you see how these, big sell-off days, big sell-off. And then we started to find a bottom and kind of just meandered around for a bit and then came up for a little. So you can see how it's also a little bit of a lagging indicator. So, there should be a rally coming at some point here, but right now it's just kind of dog poo. And we'll see, PPI is coming out tomorrow, I believe. And I don't know, there shouldn't be anything new there. It's okay, inflation, as we have a little bit of inflection, is it a bigger deal or not a big deal? I mean, PPI would tell you that, right? If PPI is not inflecting, then that would tell you that, well, okay, this producer price inflation is still pushing behind the scenes. And that means that you would then kind of point towards, look, if the PPI is still going up, then you would expect this dip to kind of be short-lived because it would, the PPI should eventually end up in the CPI. But if the PPI is also starting to roll over a little bit, if it's rolling over, then you could expect that, well, maybe we'll get lucky and have CPI, start to trickle off there. So, so that is it for this one. I think that from my perspective, this is a bear market. From the behavior, kind of confirms the bear marketness, right? Because you had an inflation that was better. Okay, look, I understand there was expectations that it would have been lower, it would have turned more, but at the same token, it did turn. It did inflect down a little, but it just wasn't good enough. And that is the problem with when you're in a bear market. When you're in a bear market, the good news, it's just not good enough for the market to respond positively to it. So that's kind of what I see. Talk to you later. Bye.